Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for future guitar and music-related videos. So today, I thought I would throw out one of those last-minute holiday gift ideas if you're having a hard time figuring out what to get your guitarist or musical bass buddy for the holidays. And because of the virus going on, I thought I would keep things on the cheaper end here. So these are all going to be products that are semi-cheap. One is going to be a little bit more expensive depending on what type you get. But these are all generally no more than $20, as I said, minus the one. So I just got a pile of stuff over here. So first and foremost, guitar cables, bass cables, speaker cables, microphone cables of any kind. You can get a decent cable for around the $20 range. You can get guitar patch cables. Those are fairly cheap. Get a 3-pack of those for like 15 bucks. But these aren't going to set you back. You can get a nice, decent quality cable. Ernie Ball is a pretty decent brand. They're more newer to making cables, but you got your nice braided cable. You know, it's all nice and sealed up there, decent ends. This is all fabric too. This isn't, you know, that rubberized stuff. Some people like the rubber, some people like the fabric. To me, it doesn't really matter. I'll use both. I'm not gigging out right now. Anyway, but here you go, just some sort of instrument cable, any kind, as I said. Guitar, bass, pretty much same exact cable. Speaker cables are good. Microphone cables, depending on what your musician friend does. Next thing we got on the list here is, of course, everybody needs guitar strings, bass strings, banjo strings, whatever instrument they play. These are fairly cheap. Bass strings are a little bit pricier, but it's still not going to set you back too much money. Pack of strings will set you back $4 or $5. So that is definitely something you can easily pick up 1 or 2 of these. Sometimes they'll do 3 for 10 too on guitar strings. Bass strings, they don't do that because unfortunately they're thicker strings. More metal means more money. That's just how it is. But strings won't set you back too bad. Next thing we have here, also something that you can find for the $2 to $5 range. This is a string winder. So when you go to obviously restring your instrument, you can do that. And also this nice little Fender one has one for acoustic strings as well, because you got to pull the pins out of there so you can actually yank the pin out of the acoustic guitar in order to restring it. These are nice, cheap little things, and they're a lot quicker than doing it by hand. There are motorized versions of these, but keep in mind they are a bit more expensive, so you may want to just stick with the old hand wind one. Next, we're going to go on to something that they may or may not want. This is more for guitarists specifically. That is a capo. Capos, yes, there are expensive ones that are like $50, but there is a million different types of capos. I think this one was the $20 range. You know, they're nice. Got the rubber here, rubber there. Keep in mind, though, that if you are using a capo a lot, that means you're going to need to refret or crown and level your guitar a little bit more. Most guitars, unless it's vintage, typically you get 2 to 3 crown and levels. They may or may not know what that is, but basically the metal pieces on the guitar that go across your fretboard, those are called frets. And the more you use a capo, the more you wear down on those bad boys. So that is something to keep in mind with using a capo, but, you know, nice little fairly inexpensive gift here. Next, what we got, also semi-inexpensive. They can also be expensive depending on what you get them. Tuner. Got to have a good tuner to tune your instrument. This is just a cheapy Korg one. That was like 15 bucks, nothing too expensive. There's clip-on tuners, a million different types of tuners. This one actually plugs into the guitar or bass itself in order to tune it. Gives you flat, sharp, etc. You got to have a nice tuner. I mean, yes, you can technically download a tuner on your phone, but it's never going to be exactly the same as buying an actual tuner for your instrument, something you need to have. Yet again, fairly inexpensive, and if you're a guitarist or bassist, you really can't have too many of them because they break. They do inevitably break. They're not, you know, they're small, you step on them by accident, especially the clip-on ones, they break fairly easy, getting knocked around in a gig bag. So you can never really have too many tuners. Next thing we have on the list are picks. Bassists, banjo players, guitarists. A lot of people use picks. I know some people on bass don't prefer picks, but if you know you're a guitarist, bassist, string player, uses any type of picks. There's a million different types of variety. A regular pack of picks like this isn't going to be more than like $5 or $6. You get like 12 different picks. You can get variety packs. If you're looking for something fancier, this is a gravity guitar pick. There's also V picks. They're different kind of fancy specialty picks, hand polished, made in the USA. These are also technically made in the USA. This one right here, this particular pick, this is a 6mm, really fat boy. This guy will set you back about $11, but they usually throw in an extra pick with you. I've ordered twice from them, and they always throw in an additional pick. Yes, I know it's expensive, but if you're looking to get them something fancy and special, you can get the custom engravings on those as well. So you have a good variety. Otherwise, you can just go to the standard line. Take a look at the Dunlop picks. They have a million different varieties. These are flow picks. I got a regular Tortex right here, 1mm. I have, let's see, we got a Fender heavy pick. Million different types of picks that you can buy, and they are relatively inexpensive. Great for stocking stuffers. Next thing we're going to talk about is, I just dropped it, a toolkit. So some sort of type of toolkit. This has a bunch of different bits, screwdrivers. You could also get them a hex wrench set for pretty cheap. You can get both metric and standard for around $10, Harbor Freight, if you're familiar with that store. But you can get these little itty-bitty toolkits for around $10 to $15, and they are great for working and adjusting parts on guitars. Just, a nice little easy thing. Throw it in a gig bag, good to go. If you need to adjust something, tighten a screw, you got it on you. And the final thing that I said was going to be slightly more expensive is guitar pedals. Now, this is a mini guitar pedal. This is called the Golden Plexi. I have done a video demo of this before, an unboxing, so you probably know what this is. Well, some of you do, some of you don't. But guitar pedals, it depends what you want and what level they are. If they are an experienced musician, you're probably going to end up spending $50 to $100 on one of these fairly easily. Possibly even more. However, if they are more of a beginner, you can also get under $50. Behringer is a great company. You can buy off-brand pedals as well. Go to Amazon, has their own line of pedals. I think they're about $30 a piece, sound halfway decent. But you can definitely find cheap guitar pedals that they don't have. If they are just a guitar pedal collector and you buy them something they do not have, they are going to be extremely happy. Something like this, as I said, this particular pedal is about $50. Excellent pedal. If they're looking for that Marshall tone, this is definitely one to buy. But there's a million different varieties of pedals. You can buy used pedals too. Just find something in the original box. As long as it works, you're good to go. Most of these pedals, just test them before you buy them. A lot of them are really, really hard to break unless you really hardcore abuse them. If you're hardcore abusing them, yes, they have a higher tendency to break, but 9 out of 10, I've never really had a problem buying a used guitar pedal. All of mine seem to work, and if there was a problem, just make sure they have some sort of return policy. Unless you're buying something off of Craigslist, then 9 out of 10, you're not going to be able to return that pedal. But I thought this would just be a nice little episode here. Some quick gift ideas. Christmas is coming up here, about 13 days away. Maybe you celebrate Hanukkah. I don't know what other types of holidays. Kwanzaa, I think, is going on at some point as well. But just some cheaper gifts you can get your music playing friends for the holidays. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If there's anything else that I might have missed that you think is on the cheaper side, feel free to comment down below too, so that way you can give everybody ideas for the holiday season that is upon us. Because even if you can't afford something really expensive, like a nice Gibson Les Paul or USA Fender Stratocaster for somebody, you can get them something along those lines, and 9 out of 10, they're going to be grateful nevertheless, because they're just happy that you were thinking of them, and they're happy you got them something that they can use. My name is Steve Gray. This is Gray's Guitars. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.